In the annals of NBA history, few rebuilding strategies have sparked as much debate as The Process, the bold and infamous plan spearheaded by former Philadelphia 76ers general manager Sam Hinkie. What began in 2013 as an unapologetic teardown of a middling roster transformed the Sixers into a symbol of the extremes of tanking. For years, Philadelphia fans endured historic losing streaks, public ridicule, and even league intervention. Yet, at its peak, the process gave birth to a talented roster headlined by Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, positioning the franchise as a contender. This is the story of the process, its origins, the highs and lows, and the lessons it left behind for the NBA. The beginning, embracing the tank, 2013 to 2016. The origins of the process trace back to 2013, when the 76ers hired Sam Hinkie as general manager. His vision was radical: strip the roster of average talent, prioritize draft picks, and gamble on high-upside prospects. Hinkie believed in accumulating assets, valuing long-term potential over short-term competitiveness. One of his first major moves was trading all-star point guard Jrue Holiday to the New Orleans Pelicans for Nerlens Noel, a top-6 pick recovering from an ACL tear, and a future first-round pick. This trade sent a clear message: winning in the present was secondary. The Sixers roster was filled with unproven players and journeymen, resulting in one of the worst records in NBA history. The draft picks. The draft became the cornerstone of Hinkie's strategy. Between 2013 and 2016, the Sixers accumulated a slew of high lottery picks. 2014, Joel Embiid, 3rd overall, and Dario Saric, via trade. 2015, Jahlil Okafor, 3rd overall. 2016, Ben Simmons, 1st overall. Each pick carried immense potential but also significant risk. Embiid missed his first 2 seasons due to injuries, and Okafor's defensive limitations made him a poor fit for the modern NBA. Still, Hinkie's willingness to bet on raw talent over safer options shaped the foundation of the process. The losing streaks. From 2013 to 2016, the Sixers were historically bad. They posted a 10-72 record in the 2015 to 2016 season, tying for the 3rd worst record in NBA history. Fans coined the mantra, "Trust the process," a phrase popularized by Joel Embiid, as a rallying cry to endure the losing. The culture of development. Behind the scenes, the process wasn't just about losing games, it was about fostering a long-term culture of development. The Sixers invested heavily in analytics, player recovery, and international scouting. Players like Dario Saric, who spent time overseas before joining the team, exemplified the global reach of their strategy. Coaches and trainers focused on building foundational skills, ensuring that young players like Embiid and Simmons had the tools to succeed once they hit their stride. The focus wasn't merely on players, but also on organizational philosophy. The team hired specialists in data science and sports medicine to track player performance and optimize training regimen. This holistic approach reflected Hinkie's belief that every edge, no matter how small, could contribute to eventual success. The turning point, Hinkie's departure, 2016. Despite the stockpile of assets, the process faced mounting criticism. The league's perception of intentional tanking led to pressure on the Sixers' ownership. In 2016, the NBA essentially forced the team to bring in Jerry Colangelo as a special advisor. Shortly after, Hinkie resigned, leaving behind a 13-page manifesto defending his vision. His departure marked the end of an era, but the seeds he planted were beginning to bear fruit. Jerry Colangelo and transition. Jerry Colangelo's arrival marked a shift in philosophy. While the team still valued young talent, there was an increased emphasis on veteran leadership and accountability. The Sixers began adding experienced players to guide their emerging stars, bridging the gap between potential and performance. Brian Colangelo, Jerry's son, took over as GM and made immediate moves to accelerate the team's timeline. The transition period also highlighted a philosophical divide, the tension between Hinkie's patience-driven approach and the Colangelo's urgency to compete. While some fans viewed this shift as a betrayal of the process, others welcomed the new direction, believing it was time for the team to capitalize on its potential. The highs. A new era of hope, 2017 to 2021. With Hinkie gone, Brian Colangelo inherited a treasure trove of talent. Joel Embiid debuted in 2016 and immediately showcased superstar potential, averaging over 20 points per game as a rookie. In 2017, Ben Simmons joined the fold, winning Rookie of the Year and forming a dynamic duo with Embiid. The playoff rise. By 2017 to 2018, the Sixers were back in the playoffs, finishing with a 52-30 record. The once downtrodden franchise was now seen as a legitimate contender. Fans who endured years of losing were rewarded with thrilling performances and playoff victories. The team's ball movement and defensive prowess made them one of the league's most exciting squads. The Jimmy Butler Trade. In 2018, the Sixers acquired Jimmy Butler in a blockbuster trade, signaling their readiness to compete for a championship. The trio of Embiid, Simmons, and Butler led the team to the second round of the playoffs, where they fell to the Toronto Raptors in a heartbreaking Game 7, punctuated by Kawhi Leonard's iconic buzzer beater. The Al Horford Experiment. In the 2019 offseason, the Sixers signed Al Horford to a lucrative deal, aiming to bolster their frontcourt alongside Embiid. However, the fit was clunky, as Horford's presence clogged the paint and disrupted the team's spacing. The experiment proved costly, both financially and strategically, and highlighted the challenges of building around Embiid and Simmons. The lows, unrealized potential and frustration, 2020 to 2022. As the process reached its peak, cracks began to show. Chemistry issues, injuries, and questionable roster decisions undermined the Sixers' success. Ben Simmons' decline. One of the most significant setbacks was Ben Simmons' offensive stagnation. Despite his elite defense and playmaking, his reluctance to shoot outside the paint became a liability. The 2021 playoffs highlighted this issue when Simmons famously passed up an open dunk in Game 7 against the Atlanta Hawks. The Sixers lost, and Simmons faced widespread criticism. The James Harden Trade. In 2022, the Sixers traded Simmons, along with other assets, to the Brooklyn Nets for James Harden. While Harden's arrival was seen as a win-now move, his inconsistent performances in critical moments reignited concerns about the team's ability to contend. Joel Embiid's injuries. Throughout this period, Embiid's health remained a concern. Despite MVP-caliber performances, his frequent injuries often left the team shorthanded in crucial games. The franchise's reliance on Embiid's dominance highlighted the need for a more balanced roster. The legacy of the process. Nearly a decade after its inception, the process remains one of the most polarizing experiments in NBA history. It reshaped the way franchises approach rebuilding, proving that patience and asset accumulation can yield superstar talent. Joel Embiid, now an MVP-caliber player, stands as the greatest success story of the process. However, the Sixers have yet to win a championship, leaving fans and critics alike questioning whether the years of losing were worth it. The process highlighted the fine line between innovation and risk, showing how difficult it is to translate potential into sustained success. Cultural impact. Beyond basketball, the process influenced how fans view rebuilding. It created a dialogue about the ethics of tanking, loyalty to a vision, and the balance between short-term pain and long-term gain. The phrase, "trust the process," became a cultural phenomenon, embodying resilience and optimism in the face of adversity. Lessons learned. Drafting is a gamble. Even with high lottery picks, there are no guarantees. For every Embiid, there's an Okafor. Culture matters. Building a winning culture is as important as accumulating talent. The Sixers' struggles with chemistry underscore this. Patience pays, but timing is key. While the process proved that rebuilding takes time, it also showed the importance of capitalizing on opportunities when they arise. Flexibility is crucial. Adapting strategies to fit the roster's needs is essential. The Sixers' rigid adherence to their plan at times hindered their ability to make necessary adjustments. The process has left an indelible mark on the NBA. It redefined rebuilding strategies and sparked debates about the ethics of tanking. For the Philadelphia 76ers, it's a story of hope, heartbreak, and resilience. As fans continue to watch Embiid and the current roster chase a championship, one question lingers: was trusting the process worth it? Whether celebrated or criticized, the process will always be remembered as a bold experiment that dared to challenge the status quo, forever altering the landscape of the NBA. Its lessons on patience, risk, and resilience will continue to influence how teams build for the future.